I ain't never seen no mayor. She make black people just look real bad. She do, girl. I sit up there and look at, and you know the thing is, Tiffany is pretty. She's a pretty young lady.
She is.
But she, you know, she ratchet. She too hood. She hood. You can look at her and tell by the way she acts. Did you see how she did that New Jack City stuff? Girl, now what was that?
Ignorant.
Here, take my dog.
Ignorant. She ignorant.
Government is not bad, it's not corrupt. And I am living proof of that. But yet they painted me as this bad person, or corruption, or thief. I'm none of those. I am fighting against the people that are. But people have to hear my story to understand where I am and where I come from and why I continue to fight and stand in the fire for them. Next month, we have Black History Month. Why we got the shortest month of the year? Why? Why is it only that month we talk about the black leaders or the people that have uplifted us as we grow? Because we all have mentors and people we look up to. Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks. And I tell everybody, I am her. I am Rosa Parks. The difference between back then and now is I'm living the same dream as her. What did she not want to do? Give up her seat, right? She would not give up her seat. What am I doing today? Not giving up my seat.
And we're going to talk about that because you made a hell of a correlation in terms of what's at stake. And as I walk us through the series, because you like a whole book.
Yeah.
It's a series of collections that, for real, when we look in hindsight, one day, God is going to bless us to live to grow old. And if not, live to tell the stories through others. And it's a series. And there's a lot of you that I want folks to take away as we pull back these layers, because we're going to get into the weeds, guys. Like, ultimately, she's alluding to a few things. The seed, the fire, the brimstone, right? So, you know, and yes, she's still standing. And the question is why? When you think about the village of Dalton, 8-mile radius, right? About nearly 22,000 residents. That little spot on the map, is it that important? Or is the bigger picture, the supervisor picture? So when we look at Thornton Township, you would agree is the second most powerful township in the. Yes, the vast majority is reflective, let's say about 60-40 in terms of white and black. But when you think about the village of Dalton, it's predominantly black. But both of whom have historically been in. So I want to jog your memories to the mayoral leaders that came before you. Mm-hmm. Bill Shaw comes to mind. Yes. The Shaw brothers. Yes. If you didn't see one, you saw the other, right? Yes. From 97 to 2008. That's undeniable. So you had some decent leadership, but then you decided to run for trustee. What made you run?
Well, again, I've always been a leader, so I took on the role of Black Club president. So on my block, I always try to get the neighbors engaged, make sure you know your neighbor. When we went to school and got out, sometimes we go to the neighbor house, and that's the thing that I wanted to bring back. Basically unity amongst community and us building one another. So when my parents went home, we'd go to the neighbor's house, they'd feed us, they'd help us with our homework, things of that nature. So the issue was over a tree. It's that simple. It was over a tree. We wanted a tree cut on the block, but it wasn't on our property, it was on someone else's property. I went to a board meeting and I asked them, hey guys, we have a tree, it's messing up the plumbing, it's leaning over in the street where we dance and do our routines at. Can you please come and cut it down? And basically when I went, they flickered me off. They said, I'll sit down, what you talking about, little girl? Because I was young, I was a teenager at the time. And from there, it got me interested in government, because I didn't know who ran our city. I didn't know what that looked like. And when I saw just all old people, no youth, nobody that can actually be our voice and understand what we want, I ran for office. Now, don't get me wrong, that kicked me off the ballot when I first ran. I didn't know the game, didn't know nothing. I was so young, what the hell it is, didn't know nothing. So then after that,
you know, I was looking for that too, right? There is never any history, so y'all getting some real exclusive. Yeah. When you knocked off the ballot, this is though you ain't never ran. Right. I've been kicked off the ballot. So you got knocked off the ballot, but you got back up.
I did. Dust yourself off, try again, as a leader say. Yes.
Okay, so tell me, so when I think of you and you fill in the blanks, you think of Zuccarelli, I think of the Z team, right? Now, the boss had the Z team. Were you a part of that apparatus, or did you become ingratiated
Well,
Did they find you once you got knocked off the ballot?
well, they did, but I never joined like per se the Z team. I was a part of it, but from afar. Because I just can't go status quo on my own person. So I've always helped when they call for us to go get signatures, things of that nature. What people don't understand or didn't know about Frank Zuccarelli, he worked through his people. That's how he was able to stay in office for so long. That's the problem I'm having now. No one wants to work together. Everybody wants to be the dictator to Tiffany Hilliard. And I'm saying no. I want people to do the same like y'all did with Frank Zuccarelli. We all work together. When Frank had a judge, attorney that wanted to run for judge, things of that nature, he went to every single town, which is 17 cities he compassed, and he had those mayors, those elected officials. They went out and got the signatures for his slates. That's how this game worked. He didn't go do it, but he had the resources and the connections to make it work.
So what she's identifying is the strength and power of relationships, but as two black women that are on the most powerful black-owned radio station in the country, we ain't white, and that ain't right.
That right? Yeah.
And ultimately, that privilege that you saw, the trickle-down effect just hasn't reached you and probably will not touch you as a black woman in power. And that's been an ugly reality. And I am going to identify that for you because you would be remiss as you read and see, and eventually I just stop in terms of, damn, Dalton ain't that important. Why this seat and why now? Right? So as we build up to the rise of Tiffany Hayard, Tiffany from the block, aka Good Burger. You know, you dust yourself off, you tried again, you ran, and then you were seated.
Correct.
Okay. So you have to get out there and get your teeth cut, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you served as a trustee for how long?
8 years. I did 2 terms.
So 2 terms under the leadership of then Mayor Riley Roger.
Correct.
Right? So was Roger done, and you just decided that you were done?
Well,
and you wanted something new? Which way?
I had to make sure I unseated him, and I ran for the seat because he kept trying to recall. It's not my first recall.
Oh, really?
He tried to recall myself, Stan Brown, and Robert Hunt, and they lost. Frank Zuccarelli was involved as well as relates to, we had a lawyer, we defeated that, and we still kept our seats. But they always tried to recall us, no matter what. When people can't control you, they try to remove you from office. That's how this game goes.
Because recall is an X factor here in Chicago.
Correct.
There is a state rep that is pushing that agenda. He's done so even when he was on the ballot for mayor, but they were rebuking in the name of Jesus in Chicago. But recall is also powerful, but it's abusive.
Correct.
And I did not know that this was not your first rodeo.
No, ma'am.
So you were recalled, or attempted to be recalled once or twice?
2 times. So
Two?
once
Both
as a
times?
trustee, and
Okay, I
once
know
as
that.
mayor.
Right, I know that as mayor,
Okay.
but once beforehand.
Correct.
So is that the same time that you decided to run against him for mayor, or did you run in the next term?
I ran in the next term.
Okay.
Because he tried to put term
So he
limits on
pulled
us.
that trigger,
Yes.
and then you clapped back.
I did.
That's the translation.
And he
y'all.
lost his seat.
And he
That's
lost
why
his
I
seat.
watch what you go for, because it's good for me, it's good for you. And the people elected me by landslide. 82% I won in 2021 because of
Yeah, I
the
was
first
gonna get to
female.
that. So this woman know her stats, y'all.
Mhm.
So in other words, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And as I think what makes us very interesting as millennials is that we learn real quick.
Mhm.
And then when we learn, you can't unlearn what you know, right? Because you were in the thick of this fight. And I want to talk about Dalton because, you know, there's been some painful moments, right? I think you've had some growing pains yourself as a leader. And I want to give you that opportunity to have that humility and grace because nobody's perfect, right? And I'm going to talk about a few things, but I do want to preface that there are some things because of just the legalities and the nature of things that I won't get in the weeds of the details. Because everybody was saying, well, ask about this, and da. Let me tell you something. What happened in Vegas, did it happen in Vegas? And if it did, that's for a jury to deliberate. But there are moments of leadership where I bet if she was to take that trip again, ain't none of y'all going. Everybody stay at home, and that's how we gonna do this. And I'm gonna come back and tell you the message. So when we come back, we are talking to the super mayor, Tiffany Hayard, supervisor of Thornton Township, mayor of Dalton, who's gonna dive into the growing pains. Because I think every leader, if they have not grown, then they're not a leader. And when you look back over it, would you have done certain things differently? Stay with us. We'll be back. I thought about that last night. Everybody should stay their ass at home. Shit.
Still live? Okay.
Yeah, everybody. I did all the summits. Don't know. Ain't none of y'all come. No. So when we come back, you know, and I'm trying not to look at that shit, but when we come back,
no, people don't know. They just write anything. They don't know. No one wants to hear another narrative. The narrative's already painted for me.
Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna come back with if you are comfortable. I want to read some of these headlines because what I've realized, like I said, watching my mayor, even when they sent the other mayor, you know what I'm talking about? Like, so there's a part, and this one I'm gonna bring up. My husband name is Brandon. He's watching this documentary, and I put 50 fucking worse minutes, but watching this documentary, and I hear, yeah, because when you decided to do something different. Oh. So, yeah, when we come back, we'll talk.
Yeah. Well, here, I'll say something to y'all. Hey, guys, it's your favorite super mayor, Tiffany here. It's going down. Miss Cleo, you see her, she out here. She take care of the business. You see her, this is her first day on the largest station ever. You got to give people their flowers right here. That's what people tend not to do. So I love you. I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to come and speak today and hear a different narrative, as y'all haven't heard on all the major networks. You know, the smear campaign is big, but I'm here to tell my truth. So I thank her and I thank WDON for allowing me the opportunity to speak and be heard. So thank you so much. Sorry for waking y'all up. I know the kids ain't got school today, but wake up, wake up, wake up. And no, we can't talk because y'all watching. Nah.
True.
So we gonna sit here and drink this water.
True.
Oh man.
8 miles. I thought it was 5. Oh, can she come out the door? Come on.
Sorry. Thank you. Like what else you do? What you want to do to put the plug on my life? Sorry.
So we're gonna talk about these headlines. I think these headlines have been.
What else you do?
Oh, what else do I?
Yeah, so you come back. You about you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about her. We'll come back. Okay. For you.
What?
No, she not. She let me come up to this.
Her. See.
And we are back. The time is 9:51. You heard it. It's her. It's she. It's me. I am live in the studio with the super mayor, Tiffany Haynard, and we are building up to the momentum of these headlines. Like, I got to talk about this because I think that is what has driven this hate campaign. Mm-hmm. Not to mention, you know, let's be clear. As an elected, I'm sure you've experienced meeting folks that just don't like you.
Yes.
No matter what you've done, what you've given, what you've experienced, what you've said, what they can't forgive, what they can't forgive, they don't like you. Mm-hmm. But these headlines don't make it better. So I'm going to read a few of them. America's worst mayor, facing evictions, not paying rent, your charity, the conflicts of interest, your relationship, you know, the deficit in Thornton, the cars being repossessed in Dalton. I mean, hit after hit after hit, to the point where not only do people want to know, who is this girl, where is Dalton, what's up with Thornton, what they gonna do about it? I mean, it gets lost in a translation. What do you say to these headlines?
Well, all lies. I think that someone bigger is behind it all, paying for all the negative media, because every time I sit in a clip or get them facts or get them proof or get them documentation, I don't even put it up. And then I have to create my own platform and put it up on there to show people the truth. And that's where my base come from. When I do speak truth, I show them evidence, and then we go from there. But it's sad and heartbreaking because how people talk about people's personal life. What I got to do with where I sit, government. I'm in government, not personal. And then it's all lies. Like, I go to one. They said I'm being evicted, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't rent from her. But yet, that's the story everybody put. I'm not her tenant. I'm not on no lease. But yet, y'all keep putting that out there.
So why would somebody do that? Because I wanted to save this question personally, and she looking me dead in the eyes, y'all. So I want to be clear of how intimate this exclusive is. Why would somebody go that far to besmudge you and you're not their tenant?
Because that she's paid. Everyone's paid. Everyone's behind everything. And it will be exposed. So people be wanting me to talk premature, right? So, of course, you know what lawyers tell you. Now, I don't talk about this. Don't focus on that. I only gave you a little bit of it, but that's the truth.
Understand. And
that's why I'm okay with saying it. Even though the lawyer give me later for it, he'll deal with it. But it's just a problem because why? You guys can't beat me that you got to go that far? That's beyond reason. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
Like, if you're going to fight me at the polls. Bring the people out. But you got to make the people not like me and do character assassination. I'm not with that. Because I put in the work, I paid my dues. When I say paid my dues, I mean did the work. My work speaks for itself. And no one can outwork me or outbeat me. So the only way they can try to beat me is by telling the people, I did this, I'm doing that. Come on now, really? No, all false, all negative. And that's why you see me in the public. Think about it. People really get really big. What they do? Run. You don't see them no more. They out of the headlines, right? They don't go to meetings. They not in the public.
Yeah,
they
because
not
I will
indoors.
say, you know, folks were saying, well, good luck. I don't think she gonna come. She gonna stand you up. I said, you know, she not running. You know, and I received that about you. And it's a build up to, you know, the charity, right? The this, the that, and it's been dissolved since then, correct? Your charity? Is it dissolved?
I personally don't even have a charity. Never did. But I get tired of everything because of people name something after me. Okay. But what does it have to do with me? Think about it. That's so minute. It's bigger than that. My mom had breast cancer. Like, I don't play with stuff like that. When I was a trustee, people really go back and do the history and research, because people don't research no more. It's just, you say something bad about me, they just play it. And then I got to dispel what you said. That don't make no sense to me. And that's why I call it fake news. So my mom had cancer, and then in 2013, I did a cancer walk every single year. Didn't miss a beat. But they ain't talking about that though, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want people to talk about facts and not fiction.
And I want to talk about facts, right? Like, so ultimately, we know where you stand and rooted in the charity. And then when we talk about just, you know, like the headlines, undeniably this Vegas trip has overshadowed a lot of your administration and your ability to lead. And some of the accusations are horrible, right? Mm-hmm. And it is tied to your leadership. What do you have to say in regards to the desire for folks to know more about what had happened in Vegas, right? What do you say to that?
I say people should give people an opportunity to be heard and not just judge off of one-sided narratives. I think that in due time, everybody will speak to whatever their part is. Everybody got to understand just because somebody not speaking don't mean they're guilty or something wrong. Like I just told you, when you get legal counsel, they tell you, you cannot talk about certain things. Like, for instance, we're still in court. Mm-hmm. People are suing for money. So that's your answer.
Okay. You all heard it here. And last but not least, as we continue to magnify the constant narrative that's up against you, why not stand down? Why run again for re-election?
Because the people put me in there, and the people gonna keep me in. That's it, that's all. At the end of the day, throughout all the controversy and all the mess, I still produce for my community. I still continue to do the work. With all the hate and people calling me out my name and being disrespectful, coming to my mom's house, coming to my house, I still show up. Everybody tell me, I would have ran. I would have quit. I would not still be in this, Tiffany. But yet, here I am. Somebody got to do it. And unfortunately, God chose me to lead the people. And that's what I'm going to do. I follow his steps, nobody else's. Because at the end of the day, it's just me and him. Nobody else.
Well, that's fair. I received that. And when we talk about, you know, us learning that this is not your first rodeo under that recall, my response to people when I do utter your name, is it goes back to the recall, right? And I say to folks, and I said this to you, we talked about this, you know, if you all didn't like it, why didn't you do something about it, right? Not only did you send her back, she's there, right? So for those that are organizing against you, we're going to talk about that on the other side, because there's an internal conflict, right? And the opposition that was born under your administration since your inception. Because House is no stranger to you, and nor are you him. But ultimately, you are rooted in the work, and you said, until the people say it's finished, it is so. Is that what you're saying?
Amen.
All right, well, we receive it. You are listening to the Superman. She's giving us an exclusive right here, a heart-to-heart conversation about some real pressing negative headlines. I've yet to see a positive one, but we're going to create that here at WBON, just with her speaking her truth. I think that's important for us to discuss, because when we come back, there's been some things said, right? And I think when I look at some of the missteps, I think it's been in moments of heated opportunities that I want you to talk to about things that you would have done differently, because you're human. So stay with us. We'll be back after this break. And what I'm going towards is, I think in one of the meetings just recently,
So what else you do? You have to finish filling the people
I
in.
mean, you know, this is the biggest deal besides being the mom of two boys, baby boys.
You told me you just ran.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just ran for office.
I ran. That was a wild one. I gave birth to my son the next day. I knocked him off the ballot. And of course, there's a write-in, my incumbent.
She did.
And, you know, this is after he said he can care less about the role, but he still won by 196 votes. So, you know, when we talk about folks that are rooted in the work, ultimately, you know, you got to show up. You're going to fight for some fight. And you're right, fight at the polls, right? I think that's a fair playing ground. You know, that still ain't going to be fair, right?
Yep.
It ain't going to be fair. That's the nature of the beast. But, you know, where am I at now? Folks will know I'm going to run again. You know, I'm running right here to this microphone. I think this is a powerful outlet that I'm not taking lightly. I think it's an opportunity for us to connect with people that are just doing dope stuff, being attacked, needing to be uplifted. Whatever the mood is, right, we need to be on that.
Where do you see yourself going?
Sky's the limit for me. Wherever God is going to call me. You know, clearly when we run for office, you see yourself going to that seat. But it wasn't that seat, right? At least not at that time, right? But I've learned a lot about how the sausage is made, which is why you hit it, right? Because for all of the reactions, there's a concentrated effort on both sides that are for and against your existence in any seat. So for any elected official, right? But once we start to really do the work, particularly when it comes to black regions, something always happens with those leaders. Always. Good and bad. Where it's a continuum of suppression and oppression and depression that, you know, we don't have breakthroughs. Or when we have breakthroughs, it looks like gentrification. Right? So I have yet to see in the past 60 years where we can keep the momentum, with the exception of a few areas, particularly in the city, that's holding on to dear life, trying to fight the housing crisis, trying to fight unemployment, trying to fight stability. So I think the strategy of it all is what I see myself diving into. How do we get here?
What's most important to you?
What's most important to me is better days to come for my children. Right? This is a legacy fight.
Come on.
This fight is we're just occupying. But what are we going to leave behind? It got to be a greater story to be told. And I think pulling back the weeds of what's in front of you, right, is so critical, right? To look at the big picture. You know, we're going to talk about it. I ain't no angel. You ain't no angel. And sometimes we fall short of the glory. But as a people, we have to get back to some areas of forgiveness and opportunities of growth and grace. And even as we continue to make mistakes, what does that look like for us, right? Some things is out of frustration. So I just feel like even with me and my leadership, right? I think even as I grow in this show, I'm not gonna always get it right. But I want folks to understand that it is my best effort.
What's your foundation?
Well, I'm rooted spiritually. I do know God is a woman, and she is the creator and nurturer of all things. So I do know that, right? And then my family, right? So I would not be. Everybody keeps saying like, man, you got little babies. How you still out here? For my babies. So I plug up on a whole nother ether that ain't on no circle world. It's a whole nother charge I get. Like I said, I don't even drink coffee. So clearly I'm on one naturally. And then it's something that motivates me, right? Like the reason why we do what we do and we in it like swimwear, right? It got to be. And it's something greater than ourselves. Even if it's self-rooted.
So what made you want to run though? What was your reason behind running?
I have never lived food insecure. I've never lived in a lesser quality of life. I came up from Kenwoods. I lived in Hyde Park, I grew up in Bronzeville. I met hardworking black people that really cared and worked hard and was living ways in which we didn't deserve. And then once I realized, oh my God, what happened to Roseland? So it was more eye-popping opportunities of where did I just move my family to? I had been out there, so I was a little girl. My grandmother lived in West Pullman. Like, once we hungry, what we gonna do, you know? Like, I done been to undergrad, grad school, travel the world, and I'm really living like this. Like, that's wild to me. I think that's cool. Right? And I'm trying to figure out how did we get here. And I think in all of these pockets and all of these stories, as I can tell the story and unearth Thornton, the same for Chicago. Most segregated city in the world. You know, how is it that I come home and I'm still living less than? And socioeconomic divide has nothing to do with it. No matter how much money you make. You know, we're relegated there. So I feel like I can give us better. I feel like we deserve better. And then every time I ran, you know, I found more people that agreed and was willing to submit. Because I think, to your point, and I've watched the videos, if we talk about leadership, I shouldn't have to say I'm the leader. Right? But as we submit to leadership, are they going to follow me anyway? You know, and then for those like Harry, those you want to live, you want to be free?
Right.
We over here. You don't want to be free?
Right.
Stay over there. Right? I know I was already free. I know to who I am. And I am still trying to meet that community, because that's the world I want to live in, right? But everybody know who they are, and I want my children to play with them kids, right? It's not to leave the ones that don't know who they are behind. It's just to understand that, you know, if we can work together to pull us along, great. But for those that don't want to work, where we going if they don't work? But that's how I got here, right? I didn't know anything about politics. I don't come from anything political. I know nothing.
Me neither.
Nothing.
Me neither.
But you can learn today.
Yeah. But it's good though. I love the fact that youth are getting involved. You know what I'm saying? But I hate that they turn them off with all the negativity. That's why a lot of people don't want to run. It's so hard getting people to run for office. You know, they like, I don't want my life in the limelight. People don't want that.
And I think that that's fair. Yeah, I did that a lot. Like, would I do it again?
I think you got it. Is it every 2 years?
4.
I was 4.
It's a long time, man. I want you to listen to this, because I'm female. And we are back. The time is 10:08. You are listening to the Midday Show. I am the new host. You can have to break the live in the studio is none other than the Superman. She woke up flawless. Because if she ain't gonna say it, she feel that way.
Amen.
If you know her, you follow her, you know what time that energy is.
Yes.
And I wanted to play that clip because as women, there is not a moment in any of those statements that we can't identify to in terms of what little girls are expected of is almost equivalent to what men expect of women, especially women in leadership, right? And you've talked time and time again about fighting the good old boy club. Talk to us, because she ain't know, I do my homework. You gonna learn today. Like, besides the headlines, you gotta know what's fact.
Yes.
What is the good old boy club in your world?
In my world, it is made up of all men, unfortunately. We, as women, are not welcome in their circle. So they oust us, and then they start attacking us. The same attacks you see happening to me is happening to Anyota in Calumet City, Monet in Calumet City. It's attack on women. Nobody wants a woman to lead in any area, and I have a problem with that. I don't like chauvinist men that just tell us this is what we got to do when we can go toe to toe with whatever position we choose to accomplish at that time, but nobody wants to see us in it. So I have been going against that status quo for quite some time because you gotta understand, all my cities are ran by men, except one, that's Lansing and myself. But all 17 cities, majority men, and most men are really upset that I have 2 positions, when most of them have 2 positions or 3 positions.
Correct.
And the news not talking about that. It's just that I, meaning the woman, cannot have 2 positions. And I think I've done a damn good job of keeping both positions on the right track. And that's what they don't talk about. All my accolades that I've done in both communities, all the surpluses that I have, they don't talk about any of those things. And that's the stuff that I really want people to hear.
So surplus is where it's at. So let's talk about that, because when you inherited Thornton Township, it was a deficit.
Yes, $4.6 million.
Oh, she said that with her chest, And where are we now in that surplus?
We had $9 million surplus.
Under your leadership?
Under my leadership.
I haven't seen that headline.
Yeah, you're not. And that's what I'm saying, because they got to make me look bad. They don't say none of this. We gave them all the evidence. We gave them all the audits. They can go on Cook County website. The rest of them go look it up. These are facts. These are things that has been checked and is true. Even without grants and things of that nature, I still have surplus.
Village of Dalton, there's a deficit.
Correct.
You talked about that openly in the meeting. Where did that deficit come from?
So we owe the city of Chicago like $13 million or so when I first got in office. So why do people think that just disappeared? Where did that go?
And what was the deficit for? I'm assuming water?
Yeah, water. City of Chicago.
Yeah, because Harvey underwater too, right?
Yes.
I ain't gonna talk. Mary Clark, don't you call me, but listen, the water services for our surrounding townships, it does come at a price. And what way did you contribute to the deficit is where people, I think, get things entangled because of the headlines, right?
Correct.
So, of that, in what ways were there mismanagement under your leadership when it came to eating at that bill, if any?
So, there was no mismanagement. I know everybody want a person to blame. If you're gonna blame someone, then you blame the board, the trustees. Because what people don't understand is how leadership in government works. I am the executive branch, I'm the head. They are the legislative branch. The legislative branch is over the money. So if they over the money, why do I keep saying Tiffany did? Tiffany didn't do shit. And I'm sorry for cussing on your show, because I'm just pissed off and everybody want me to be the fall person, the person behind that thing. The person, Jason is corrupt as they come, but no one's pointing none of that out because he's a man. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of taking the blame for all their mismanagement, all their negativity, all their hate, all their theft. And that's what y'all gonna hear me talk to coming up. Because everybody gonna go get all these people, like y'all need to come get Larry Lightfoot from over my seat. Y'all need to bring her back over here. Y'all going to get people that's under investigation that y'all had a problem with to come after me. Like,
so
stop.
pause. You are unearthing some real. So, you know, let's go back to the fundamentals of how government works, because this is what we talk about when we're referring to civics, of how you all function as a body. So as the executor or the president of the board, the body, as you're saying, the trustees are who legislate. They create the policies
Correct.
and the resolutions that are fed up to you based upon an agreement. And it's a 4-person board, right?
No, it's 6.
It's
It's 6,
six.
but majority is 4, and that's
So
how they're running.
okay, that's what I'm right. So I'm doing my count, because if you got a board and you can't count, you ain't won. So I didn't jump the gun, right? So it's a 6-board body.
Yes.
Majority rules were 4.
Mm-hmm.
Right now you're split, right? So in your current body, right? And we're going to talk about that because you have a special vote coming up in terms of making sure that they install somebody to help weigh the legislation so they can get something done.
Right, that's township.
That's township.
Dalton is what you're talking about now.
Right, Dalton, right? So that's township business. But Dalton, when we think about Dalton, just from a legislative standpoint, you know, the cabal, right? So there's been some filibustering. I'm gonna use this political language. There's been some filibustering to prevent work from being done. And as we're
Correct.
talking about the deficit, you inherited a deficit on that side as well, which was 13 million. The vast majority being watered to the city of Chicago. And then, you know, I want to identify what roles did you play. And you're saying that it's a collective play, right? You can't get nothing done without your board.
You can't.
That's
Think about
any
it, right?
mayor, any president. So I just want to talk about facts, guys, because I see you all on the live line, 773-591-1690. But when we talk about moving the needle, you can't do that as just the mayor.
Correct. And I'm going to add to that. Right now, things that residents don't know, they hear it right here on your show, because I'm going to talk about this on my live. My board, right now, the corrupt board that's trying to run against me now, have stopped me. I don't have a village attorney.
Correct.
I don't have a police chief.
Correct.
I don't have a fire chief. And I don't have a village administrator. All these things, or an assistant. As a mayor, all that come with my seat. Why don't I have those things, residents? If we gonna talk about facts, let's talk about facts. So the people that's been running government for Dalton has been the Board of Trustees. We've always been in court because they sue for every little thing. We get tied up in court. You know how it go. Kick the can down the road. Okay, get them time to respond. And then now you month after month after month in court. But all these things I sued for. We did, it's called a civil conspiracy. With they little bum attorney, they always want some news play. That's who's they puppet master. So all these things are going on in my city. But I'm the only one fighting back. Just because there's majority against me don't mean I'm wrong. I'm the one right. Just like how y'all did Jesus Christ, right? He the only one that saved y'all life. Y'all crucified at me. I'm going through the same thing.
So let's talk about that, because no pun intended. You claiming that you've been a pinata, right?
Yes.
Ain't no candy coming out, y'all. So stop beating on her. Listen, at the end of the day, the cabal is in, and you haven't been effective, which is probably was the goal, right? I'm gonna assume the latter. The goal was to, technically, you look ineffective, but you look real strong to me, right? You look like you're still holding it down, despite the lack of people put in play. If you really cared about Dalton, you at least have people in play to make it effective. Whether they agree with your politics or what you have to say, there are some missing attributes to have the ship run afloat.
Correct.
Did I get that right?
You did.
Okay, so, you know, ultimately, again, I ask you, why not quit? You know, at this point, have they not done enough to break you?
No, they'll never break me. You can't break my soul. Never. We gonna fight to the very end, period. Because I didn't come to play, I come to slay. And when I slay, I'm gonna expose all of them for their dirty deeds. That's the difference. I'm outspoken. They want me to shut up. I will not. Because at the end of the day, somebody got to tell it. Somebody got to show it. But the people got to want it. The people can't get caught up in this clickbait, drama, reality show, whatever they trying to create. Because they create the fire and point the finger. That's what they're doing. but it's them with their hand in the cookie jar. And I'm exposing it. And everybody got a problem with it. Even the lawyer, all of them. They all involved. The civil conspiracy lawsuit I put out, it got all of them in there. The lawyer's number one, because they funnel all the money to him. Think about it. I don't have no lawyers, but y'all still want to pay y'all lawyer. I'm the one that appoints. Anybody understand government? The mayor is the one that appoints the attorneys. But yet that attorney going to sign up on all our cases. I didn't give that to him. We was in court, and we had to make him get off the case through the judge. The judge say, hold on, Oderson, you're not appointed by the mayor. And remove him off the case. But this is what I'm dealing with. But no one's telling that.
And we're going to talk about it because I found it interesting. So listen, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We talk about Bert Oderson, right? He was in the documentary that we were talking about between the show. Mm-hmm. It was a documentary created about this young woman that she's not even a part of. Where do they do that at? Only on NBC. Yeah. But listen, guys, when you talk about that attorney, he's not just an attorney. Mm-hmm. He's been around just as long as your predecessor. So when we come back, we're going to continue this conversation with the Super Mayor, Tiffany Hanyard, also known as the mayor of Dalton. And the phone lines are open. So I see you all. There's not a line available. I see you all on Facebook. Stay with us. We'll be back after this break. So Bert volunteered himself.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Good.
Oh, okay. Is it turn it up?
What Karen talking about?
Okay, yeah.
I mean, that's payroll. What's she talking about? Look. Karen.
Think about that. How? You know what I'm saying? That makes no sense.
Sorry.
Sorry, y'all. That's good. All right, so you can ask me now. This other clown right here too. No.
Okay. Well,
I'm supposed to be all drama because they all drama filled. Think about it. They got no life. Thank y'all. Hey guys, I see y'all on my live. I appreciate it. Thank you for being a fan. I understand it. You gotta follow my every move, my life. I appreciate it. But this is our truth, and I just want y'all to know what it is. And special ed, you too. You at them butt naked pods at Melly Fitness with Lollipop. When you and Muhammad had the Melly Fitness, like everybody know what it is. Everybody knows the dirt. Everybody knows the mess. And it just amazes me how everybody in play, everybody is involved. And that's what I'm going to expose. It's amazing how people...
So I'm going to take Anna's statement. This host is a joke.
Oh,
Very
wow.
hard questions. I mean, true.
Oh, wow. Like this person right here, I got a restraining order. Pending. Stop the hell out of him. So I'm telling you, like,
Look, this is for you. Nah, I want to start a fight. And we are back. The time is 10:21. And nah, I want to start a fight. So listen, guys, I am reading the comments, and it is going up like a crescendo. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion about our first guest. But we are coming out the gate swinging because you don't sit down with everybody.
No.
And I don't take that lightly, and neither does our CEO. So please understand that this was a collective decision from the boss of all bosses, Melody Span Cooper, because she also agrees that we do need to hear what you have to say. And it ain't gonna come from mainstream media. It's just not. And authentically, you're gonna bring it just like you are now. Unrehearsed and uncoerced. Tiffany, right?
That's right.
And, you know, some of the accusations, I went down in the weeds of, you know, I'm not asking you the hardball questions. What other hardball question is why you won't quit, bro? Like, I mean, I came out the gate just asking, like, you know, out of all of this, why not walk away? Like, what other, you know, between the accusations. So I want us to understand, I created a formula. That's the nerd in me. I can't help it. I created a formula because this is what we want. When we dive into sensational journalism, we've made a decision. You know, either you for or against, or bottom line, she done stole something. They ain't writing all of this just cause you did something. And if I was to examine anything you did, is the accusation of you being Tiffany from the block, was that so repulsive? Because they liked it in 2013, right? They liked it in 2017.
Correct.
But one thing that we know, because this is what I was gonna walk us into, is some of the regrets, is that everybody don't like it the same way all the time.
Correct.
And at some point, you lost people. And you wouldn't be seeking re-election if you wasn't trying to find them again. Some of them are permanently gone. So what about the evolution of Tiffany are people subscribing to? Because controversial, in battle, whatever verbiage we want to use, you ain't went away. So I don't know, Anna, what other harder questions is there to ask somebody to stand in humility and tell the WVON listening audience where you went wrong, because everybody, and I want to be clear, falls short of the glory. And if somewhere you lost people, where did you lose them, and how are you going to find them again?
So by telling my truth, this is step one. Coming out, speaking out, talking about it publicly, because a lot of times people don't really hear me talk about things publicly. As a leader, we can't dive into every he say, she say comment or question. And majority of the time, I answer their questions. They may not be following me, but then they come to a different venue. I may ask the same question I answered a month ago or 2 days ago. So I can't get caught in that, because I still have to focus on my vision, my goals for my city and my township, and also grow. And then be a mom and be a girlfriend. Like, all these things matter. But people tend to forget we're human. People gonna make mistakes. People might not do it your way, but it's their way, it's their story. You let them walk their path, but you want us to walk your way. We put our shoes on the same way, but we might tie our shoe different, but we get to the same goal, but it's your way. So let me be creative in my moment, in my government, and I bring a different, what I want to say, bias to it. I might dance, I might sing, but I'm relatable, and that's what they don't like. I'm relatable to the youth. I am having kids state they want to be a mayor. Matter of fact, they want to be a super mayor. Kids that never thought of government or knew what it was. I used to go into the schools and speak to every kid, especially about their mental health. I did a mental health tour throughout Thornton Township, and we used to jump from every school and talk to the kids. I took D-Lo with me, he sang with them, and we got a lot of people that opened up and got help from Thornton Township. But they don't talk about that. They don't talk about that side of Tiffany, the caring side, the nurturing side, the mom side, the one that want to see kids do better, be better, and the ones that want to give the resources, make sure you got food on the table. It's $8 now. Who can afford that? We got a whole food pantry. Why don't we have food today in the pantry? Because people playing politics with government. People not coming to board meetings. People miss over 8, now 10 board meetings. Why? We ain't talking about they should lose your seat, let alone get paid. You're not doing the job you got elected to do. When you neglect the people, it's time to go. You should
So talk to me about that. So, you know, because you highlighting some facts. Now, there has been a debacle in your administration, to say the least, right? As to why people not showing up, whether it's based off your leadership, you didn't elect them, the people did to represent them. And if that is their protest, it still is ineffective and it impacts and hurts the people. So that is the equation, and that's undeniable. But what I want to get to, for those that are really trying to connect with you, is where did you fall short? Tiffany from the block rose to become trustee, then mayor of Dalton, then the evolution of supervisor of Thornton Township, ergo super mayor. All of that happened in less than 10 years. But the evolution of you is where folks are questioning some of the decisions, right? Some of the allegations, whether it is your police department and the loss of the fleet, you know, your desire and need for protection and security, some of which is valid because you've had credible threats, and some of the choices, right? Where did you fall short?
When I didn't do what people wanted me to do. When you get in power, people come up to you, whether it's them or they city people, and they want you to do certain things. And because I wouldn't, I became the target. You gotta understand, there's a lot of things at stake as relates to Thornton Township. They wanted contracts, they wanted jobs, they wanted all these things, but I came and I cleaned it up. That was the problem before me. It was the good old boys club. Frank didn't leave a black book. I don't know who's who, what's what. I couldn't tell you nothing. But what I do know is what's right. What I do know is how you clean up a deficit. What I do know is I'm really smart, but people want to play the role that I don't know. I'm in a position to do better and to grow the township and my village, but people won't allow me to because everybody want to dictate my every move. I ran to lead, not follow. I followed for 8 years. Now I'm in leadership role to make the decision. Because guess what? If it's good, better, and different, I get the hit. The dog walk our street, it's Tiffany fault. Somebody on the corner, it's Tiffany fault. Come on, man. No matter what it is, you're blaming on the mayor, and that is not how it goes. It's people trying to run our government that's outside interference, and I have a problem with it.
Let me pause there because I am going to push back on that statement because that is what we've seen. That is how it goes. It is the mayor's fault. I'm in the city of Chicago with my black mayor and our body of council, and nobody's identifying, oh, well, that alderman or this group did. It is Brandon Johnson 24/7, 24/8. If it was an 8th day, it would be another day that is Mayor Johnson, as though he doesn't have 50 people
Correct.
that control.
Correct.
So, yeah, Tiff, it is the mayor. But what would you say to folks that you are trying to not only court, but push to re-elect you? What do you say to them?
Close your mouth, open your ears. Because if you over talking, you will never hear the other narrative. You gotta listen. That's why I do forums, whether it's conversation with the mayor, whether it's township talk. I do them forums to let people hear from me to their questions. And then I also ask questions, even when we're calling, right? And I'm courting you for a vote. I'm saying, hey, this is Super Mayor Tiffany here. I want to know how you continue supporting the upcoming election. And if you tell me, well, I'm undecided, then I say, well, why are you undecided? And then you tell me, well, I don't know right now. What you mean? You have me on the phone. Now you can ask me whatever you want, because it's just you and I. It's not an audience. No one's telling you what to ask me. However you feel, you can ask me while you have me. And then some people don't say nothing. Some people say, well, I don't know right now. So either you know or you don't, or you got a question or you don't. But people are telling you things. They're vomiting in your ear about negativity, and that's the way you're feeling about a person. And then I also rephrase. I say, how would you feel if I just came to your door and I say, well, they said that you're a thief. I don't know you from Adam, but this was I heard on the street, but I don't know. I never gave you a chance to explain. I never gave you a chance to talk to me or educate me on your side. I just ouched you. It's like, it's sad because I'm seeing the world treat me as though a person is guilty. And I thought it was innocent until proven guilty. And I'm not getting treated that way.
Well, you heard it here. Listen, guys, she is open to have the dialogue. So Carl, James, Nate, Justin, I see you got a question. You'll have your time when we come back after this break. That's real. So you phone bank too, huh?
Yep. Always. I always phone bank. I always talk to the residents and I always ask them, how you feel? What you got? Some people talk, some people don't. But I can't help you or get you to a better place on whatever side it is. But I always tell everybody, get the facts first. Get all the information. Then make a decision. You got people here playing these games with Lori and all that BS. So why? That's what the people got to do. They got to open their eyes and say, why? Why her? It's all about the bigger city. Other than that, why y'all attacking all of me? Calumet City got their problems. Thaddeus was indicted. You got Riverdale Mayor indicted. You got all these people with all these problems. But y'all not talking about them. It's all focused on me. Why? Too big city.
Shapiro. Can you hear me? What were they saying when they was saying they got a question? I already asked that. Okay. The basic shit. Okay. And that's, we ain't on yet. I want to screen some of this. I don't need nobody crazy. But,
That's what it is. It's just sad, man. I ain't never seen so much scrutiny or paid actors. This is like theater at its best. I've never seen that in my life. All over. See, if you think you can beat me, let's run. If I lose, I lose. I don't know I did it. Gave it a all. I'm not. But for you to put all this scrutiny on me, watch I still landslide you. Now what you gonna say? You put all this mess in the air, and I gotta go and talk to people and say, no, that's not true. Well, here, let me show you the facts versus fiction. They told you this, here's the truth. But you gotta want to read something else. But if your mind made up, it's made up.
And that's what I mean by like recapturing folks. Like talking about like, you ain't never lied. I forgot about everything.
Oh yeah, I know. Yes, because he's quiet, he hide. That's my point. What I denied to the earlier. They run. You don't see him. No day.
I did. I just was asking Shapiro what was the content. Okay. I am. All right. No, you're fine. You're fine. All right. Yeah, she was thinking like me because I ain't having no foolishness. But I mean, they asking the same question.
That's what I
like.
That's what they do to me.
Like, why don't she quit? I already asked that. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of what my aunt would say. You gotta run on and see what the end gonna be, and I get that. Andrew Holmes. Okay. One person said, why did you pick him? I mean,
I didn't pick him. He was already on the floor. What are you talking about?
See, that's the contextual.
Yeah.
When you talk about folks reading, and I want to send this to your audience, sometimes, just like I didn't know you would recall, all of that you got to dig,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
And even when I pulled up 82%, I know how to dig for it, but it was already established.
Correct. You remember around.
Correct. So that's interesting to contextualize, right? And then your silence is because of the respect of the legality of it.
But I don't care about nobody. That's their business. They answer. I care about what you want to judge Tiffany for. Don't put me in top to nobody anything. As it relates to stuff, when we go, we do tons of conferences. But it's a business trip to bring business back. Like Jonathan just answered when he said, what's called Tokyo.
Right, yeah.
So what do you mean? I'm going to attract business for Chicago. That was his statement. So I was going to answer that on your thing too. It's the same concept. But with me, they had to turn it into all this mess. And it wasn't even that. That's what's said.
And but at the end of the day, it's unfortunate. Whatever it is, if it come out on the other side, everything you do in the dark gonna come to light. Whatever you do on the rest will come out of the water. I get it. Is it because y'all went? And you know what we're gonna talk about this. Because you made a point where I was agreeing. Like, bottom line, why I gotta sit and coach? Why we gotta eat McDonald's? Now, is it that you could have been a little bit more delicate with the budget? It didn't say that. You see what I'm saying? Like, when you look back over it, you know, would you have allocated things differently? You know what I'm saying?
But you don't know.
For a seat.
My whole board went. But why y'all just turning to me? So if everybody went, why is it just about Tiffany? Everybody went. But it's focused on me as though I did something. What the fuck? Everybody went on the trip. And they call it trip, it's a conference. The conference was it was a reconference. Where you go and you allocate, you bring businesses back. Like we had Dairy Queen out there, we was trying to get to bring, because I want to put a Dairy Queen on set. We had all these businesses that we went to, and everybody said, even the haters said, oh yeah, she worked. So what do you mean? I don't partake in none of the BS. I don't. I work. What I do is work. That's it.
Economic development conference.
All it is. Everybody was there. I even pulled other towns. South Holland was there. They business people was there. It was all kinds of other towns there. But you don't hear them talking about them. Did y'all go to bed? Yeah, they all went. Because that's what they do. You pick conferences, you go to them, and that's it. Then when they keep saying, why you pick this, pick that, I don't. I don't pick the rooms. I don't pick the flights. I don't pick none of that. You know that. You have people around you that book all that stuff, and they just tell you where you going. Half time, I don't know where I'm going to the day before. Hey, where I'm going? What time of flight? What flight I'm catching? But again, people just assume, and then assume something wrong when it's a budget for everything we do. Why you think they ain't passed no budget now? They ain't passed a budget at neither place for over a year. Why? They got majority. Why? Because y'all ain't passing budget. Why?
Because you're still in place. That's why.
Stupid. That's the case I would pay the insurance at Township, right? If I was over this stuff like they say. What? Huh?
That's just for you. Everything is in tribute to Tiffany.
Thanks, right.
For how I feel. And we are back. You are listening to the Midday Show. I am Cleopatra Drippers. Live in the studio is the Super Mayor, Tiffany Hayers. So listen, guys. I'm going to preface it as delicately as I can. But there's a reason why she doesn't sit down with anybody. So this exclusive is very personal, and we're going to be respectful because she wants to take your questions. And we're going to do this live. That's how you know she ain't running. And I'm going to go through the phone lines, and I want to hear from you. But if you get a little crazy, I will go boop real quick. So listen, guys, let's talk to Rashonda. Rashonda, welcome to WVON.
How are you? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
I just have a question because I hear that Tiffany is blaming the trustee, saying that the trustee did, stole the money or whatever. But if it's the trustee's fault, why are the FBI investigating her and her team and not the trustee? Also, she tries to, put Jason House down when Jason House has showed her nothing but respect and grace, even when she doesn't even deserve it. One more thing.
Just one question, Rashonda. Thank you. So, answer that.
So, what people need to understand about the FBI, everybody's getting investigated. Everybody. So they can assume what they want, but everybody.
And when you say everybody, are you referring to the current board or?
Yes.
All right, guys, she responded. And when it comes to House, I did want to respond because ultimately, there's some rules with the FCC. So eventually, at some point in time, the House and his crew can come, but the Superman is in the studio. So it's not to allow any besmudging, but she is giving her opinion about it. So I just wanted to contextualize that, but hopefully you all received her answer. Let's talk to Kat. Kat, welcome to WVON.
Good morning and happy MLK Day, Cleopatra.
Oh, same to you. Isn't it a beautiful day?
And I am so glad for your newly appointed position. I praise God for that, and I thank God for you.
Thank you. I received that.
I don't think I have any questions for Tiffany. I just have comments. I have comments based upon my observation and what I see of Tiffany. I'm a 40-year resident of Dalton, and first of all, I do have a question for Tiffany first before I give my comment. Tiffany, what makes you think you can say to the residents, bitch better have my money?
Well, we're not going to curse on the air, Pat, so I want you to be mindful. So let's respond to that because in the controversy of Superman, like I said, she's no angel, right? You okay with me saying that? You know angel.
No one is.
But in those statements, whether it's the one from the other day when somebody said something to you, you told them they were stupid. And it's not to laugh, but that's how you felt in that moment, I presume.
Mm-hmm. And I meant that, I'm standing on that.
You're standing on that. I heard you say that too. Is what Pat referencing any validity to it?
No, it's all fake. And that's what I'm talking about. People got to go back and research the clip. We played a song, and of course it was Rihanna. And the news took it and ran with it. I didn't verbally say that. Why would I say that?
Oh, so Pat heard the song.
Correct.
And then
the news played it and said, the mayor saying what she just said, and I never said any of that. They played the song because basically they weren't paying the vendors. And the vendors were saying, where my money at? And we used the song to reference how they was feeling is what it was. And that's all it is.
And in that moment, see, this is what I'm saying. Like, there are some folks, like right now, I can say I'm your favorite millennial, right? And there are some folks, oh, no, don't put too much emphasis on that. You don't want them to challenge your intellect and remind you that you're young, but I am. And in that moment of leadership, would you had to play the different songs had you knew it was going to catapult?
Yeah,
What is the answer?
Of course I would have. So
Right.
of course we have our moments where we could have did something better or changed it or changed the value or the tone. Yeah, of course. But guess what? It's called growing pains. You're gonna go through it, but you're gonna grow through it. People can sit there and hold you hostage of what they perceive as a mistake or something you shouldn't have done. Everybody goes through mistakes or things that you should have done different. It's called growth.
And that's what I want to magnify, because when I ask you moments where you fell short of the glory, this is one of them, because it's stuck with a resident, a long-term resident, right? That shows, see, that's why we don't put young people in office. And see how, whether it's immature or this your response to us, that's appropriate, and they run with it, right? And then when you come back stronger, they never let that go. Is that what you're asking for? If you can ask for forgiveness of moments where you fell short. You know, for me, here's a growing pain for me and my observation of you, that I laughed for about 6 months until somebody finally told me, you know that's inappropriate. You know that wasn't cool. And I said, well, why not? And I'm showing a moment where I was immature too. It's Nino Brown.
Yeah.
You know, when you came out with the dog,
Yeah.
and I mean, you had New Jack City to the T, and you sent the message. And then when I think about it, I said, well, damn, you know what, not maybe. That wasn't the venue. This is my observation. That wasn't the venue. That was a sticking point. That did hit a little different. And now, even though it is funny, it wasn't funny. It wasn't appropriate. What do you say to my critique?
To your critique, I think it was hilarious.
I agree.
I think that people took it the wrong way. Number one, I'm a fan of Martin. Everybody say Nino Brown, which you do research, it was mimicking that, but I mimicked Martin because I even did a spoof on my what was TikTok, I think, or one of them things, and I posted it up and I replayed Martin the whole thing. And I do things like that to engage the youth, which it worked. Now I did it before my board meeting. I didn't do it. I wasn't in session. We didn't call the roll. We didn't do none of it. I came in the building and I just did like a little skit.
So it wasn't formal. So
No,
again,
you go watch it.
moments I have, but you're contextualizing it, which is why I think you do need opportunities to give in detail why in the mind of Tiffany Hanger. And I think I remember that episode. You talking about when it was on Neighborhood Watch, right? Right. And he had the dog. But the point is, you're personable, right? You're innovative and you're creative. And is your timing off? Maybe.
I don't think it was. I just think the media took it and ran with it.
Oh,
If
yeah,
the
I
media
know
didn't
that.
take it, it wouldn't be as big as it is today. The media made it what it is. And I do say that's what they got. They got the national attention. And people tend to believe fake news, unfortunately. And they know they are buying clicks and views too. They got to sell news. So they cut it, chop it up like they did with the Rihanna song to make it look worse than what it is. And it wasn't that.
No.
I even did Forrest Gump. Why that ain't get no traction. I do all kinds of things. But I do it to engage community and also mainly the youth. And it actually works.
All right, so let's talk to James.
Okay.
James, welcome to WVON. James, we're going to put James back on hold. Let's talk to Nate. Nate, welcome to WVON. I know, right? Happy Martin Luther King Day.
As the appointed speaker, she was appointed in. I just want to ask why she got rid of the blue book.
Oh, so you were an employee.
Absolutely.
And what was your role?
I was the media specialist. I managed our social media platforms. I did the video photography work. I managed our website.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we get into them personal tea leaves. Thank you so much, Nate. She's gonna answer your question.
First of all, people terminate themselves. I didn't terminate anyone. If you're not doing your job, you don't have a job. It's just that way. People can get mad at the leader all they want. So that's what my answer is to that.
All right, well, listen, guys. Justin, Dylan, Eddie, Lynette, LaDonna, Art, Lena. All I ask is when you all call, refrain from anything other than the King's English. And then let's be respectful and let's be swift. Whatever your question is, Super Mayor is willing to answer it on the other side. We'll be back after this break.
Got all the haters on there. I'm talking about all the haters. What's up, y'all? You know what it is.
Hey.
What up, Cliff?
Where my positivity at?
What up, Tiff? What's up, baby girl?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Long time no see,
How they
man.
treating you, girl?
Man, you know, the fight. I'm
Already here. Already here.
Doing good, that's right. Yeah.
Excellent.
So we're going to 12.
She good? You
Okay,
good?
so do you want me to take sharpen at 11:30 so I can ask her to stay a little
Man.
longer?
Yeah, how you?
I'm good.
Okay.
I told him, I said, my girl will come in, you ain't got to worry about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, sometimes just some.
Hey.
Yeah. No, they're not.
I told him, you've been with us for years.
So do you want me to do
I
sharpen
need
at
the
11:30? Do you want to keep this going?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. She did our WVON tasting every year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Why I ain't know that, too?
She was at, she was under the umbrella of Good Burger back then.
I did the taste with food truck, yeah. Every
With me every year.
So why you ain't remember WVON? You just didn't
I
put it
no,
together?
I didn't put the taste to it, but I
So we
forgot the
ain't done it in
truck
a
part.
long time.
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
really is before my time, right?
Right, right.
I came at the tail end of the last
one.
one over at Lorraine. I think we did another one at CSU,
At Chicago State.
and that was it. Okay.
Yeah.
And she was already in Paris. She was thinking about this thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I just want to know that.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? I mean, what other harder questions should we ask the Superman?
Well, you know,
But
but Khalil, that's what you got to realize is that everybody who got an opposite side to what she's talking about, they want you to take they stand for them.
Correct.
You can't take the stand for everybody, and so that's the problem. Like she said, everybody want their personal choice and their personal things done the way they want them to. But you can't take the side for everybody because everybody got different reasons. You know, it's like when Operation Push first started, they had 20,000 cases in California that wanted Push to take the side, 20,000 in Texas, 18,000 in Florida. They couldn't operate on everybody, so everybody whose case that they didn't take got mad at Jesse. Then they said, well, Jesse pick and choose. And that wasn't the case. Jesse was trying to fight the fights that was really mainstream that needed to be addressed. And if it wasn't at that level, you couldn't take a small, Push couldn't stand on a small case. That don't matter. They could only take the cases that was going to be relevant to something else that was going to come down the line. And that's just the real world. So that's, you know, everybody there going to look at it from their own eyes. And that's the problem. The problem is everybody's eyes ain't perfect neither. And so when you're looking at everybody want to be I, and she trying to do us, it don't work. You my girl there, man.
Yeah, we go back like Cadillac.
Yes, indeed. We got to go to the side. We got the remote over there.
Okay.
All right, Ted.
I see ya.
Holla at you.
See ya.
This is another thing. They say you complicate.
I feel like it's all negative. Like, who want to deal with that? Like, all that. Negative, negative, negative. None positive. What the positive people that love me at? Because I got a base too.
What's wrong with being? What's wrong with being confident? And we are back. The time is 10:51, and we are going to the live lines. We still have in studio the Super Mayor, Tiffany Hanyard. And I want to talk to Lynette. Lynette, welcome to WVON.
Hello?
Hey, you're on live.
Okay, correct.
Oh, forgive me. Yes, ma'am.
The reason I'm calling you destroy your character, and not only that, it can put you in financial deficit. My granddaughter put an order of protection on me and his girlfriend, and I was not able to get to my son. And what I'm hearing from the mayor is that a lot of things could be lies around here, and there's nothing to protect you. And what happens is that your character is destroyed. You have to get lawyers, and it costs you, I don't know how much money for a lawyer. And if she's telling the truth, something has to be done, and I'd like to get with her so we can do something about this, because a person can just come in and put an order of protection on you or can lie on you, and you have to spend money to correct it. And I can't even tell you the tears that I've shared and the lies that have been told and how it has affected me and my family.
I thank you so much. I really do. And the mayor receives that. And actually, we were just talking about this in terms of, bottom line is, you a whole lot of things. You're a personality, you're confident, you're a lot of things. You're no angel, but you are who you are, and you recognize that bottom line is that there are moments where you could have did things differently. You don't never get to speak to that, right? In between the show, I'm just gonna forecast it because I know some of you all are gonna call in about, it's not a trip to Vegas. It was an economic development conference, right?
Correct.
That's your entire board went to.
Yeah.
Right? But the foci is always you, right? And I say that because the foci, you're the head honcho, right? So that's undeniable. But the actions of what people did and didn't do, and so on and so forth, you held accountable for that too, and that's where you draw the line, right? So to hear her impede upon her story of protecting her character and just the financial strife it's caused her as just a woman, I can only imagine the endless strife that continues to bombard you, right? So I think that I want you to receive that because she's connecting with you on another level that ain't got nothing to do with the devil in the details of what you think people hear. People just seeing your story. So let's talk to Justin. Justin, what say you? Welcome to WVON.
Yeah, good morning and happy MLK.
Same to you.
The man goes on to say about wanting to be a role model to our young people, but I'm wanting to know how people with a married man, is that a role model?
So is that your fact or is that an allegation that you're spewing? Which is it, Justin?
It's a fact.
Thank you so much for that call. You don't have to respond to that if you don't want to. So let's talk. Do you want to?
Oh, you want me to? Okay, this is where people get it twisted at, right? Everybody's so engulfed in my life that they don't even know what's going on. Just like anybody else, if they go through a divorce, that means they can't date nobody. So people need to stop with the mess. If somebody still attached to somebody and somebody won't let them go, how you feel that that person can't still live their life? So people need to stop using words of because somebody's married or whatever. I've been with Cabal for 4 years. 4 years we've been together. He's been going through a divorce for 4 years. And anybody that's fighting a divorce or going through things that you're fighting with your ex, y'all know what I'm talking about. So people need to stop worrying about my personal life and judge me on government. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here for you to talk about my personal life, because when we go home, when we talk to each other, guess what? It's me and him. It's nobody else's business. But yet everybody want to be in our business. I have a problem with that.
Do you think it's because you're a woman?
I do. Because if a man did it, y'all won't have a problem with it.
Y'all heard it here. Let's talk to Lena. Lena, welcome to WVON. We're good. Thank you so much. Now, Elena, that is a superb question. Thank you so much for that call because it's real. Let's answer, Superman.
So basically, with the grant, we made it for seniors and veterans first, because they are on fixed incomes, and they the ones who are struggling. I'm not saying the most, but really the most, because they don't have money to fix something major.
They don't
like,
have other disposable income.
Correct. So that's what it was for. Now, the second grant that I pushed out, and of course the board controls the purse and stopped it, is to fix driveways, security doors, things of that nature. That was for anybody. So when she say denied, no one denied anybody like
Because it
that.
hasn't moved forward.
It has not.
And when let me magnify what the super mayor is saying. When she said control the purse, that's a political verbiage. She's talking about maintaining the fiscal budget and access to it, right? So, Lena, in other words, don't sit tight. Hold her accountable. And I'm saying this as she look at me dead in my eyes, these big eyes of hers, because she's right. We are sandwiched in between, right? And often, Lena, I feel you, like most things is for the elderly and then the youth, and then the rest of us, we just own our own. It's not just a Dalton thing, and I'm not defending or negating, but to hold her accountable is to come up with something creative and innovative to capture the in-between. Are you willing to do that, Superman?
Of course I am, because think about it. I am a trendsetter. So everything I have produced, every town has mimicked. So if I wasn't doing something right, why are you mimicking my formula? So other people don't make them first, but I did in my community. Then when the board saw us getting so much traction on helping everybody, they started to destroy. And that's
what she's referring to is name ID, guys. So in other words, you can try, you can duplicate it, but you can't run that, okay? So listen, do you have time to stay with us through the rest of these calls? Because they're going to get big mad at me if you leave and you got like 4 more people. You got a few?
I can do one more.
Okay.
You said 10:30.
So, yeah, so when we come back, I got to take a break. Jennifer, Dylan, Eddie, she may not be able to stay through the whole you did, but Art, we see you on the live line. The super mayor has been so gracious with her time. We thank her. So stay with us. We'll be back after this break. Yeah. I just wanted to set it up so that when we come back, you get it out.
Yeah. Then I just want to make one reference on glory.
Yeah, you call it. I was.
Yeah, I know. I shit.
You call it Larry.
I know. We just came out like that. I was like, oh God. Oh God. Never mind. Oh God.
Everybody got jokes.
Yeah,
But yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah, at least I say something else.
How you think we're doing on the call? Good. Am I surviving?
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in. I guess I'll keep going until I wrap it up, and then we're going to be out of here because you know I got to go campaign. You know what I do. So I just appreciate you guys for always following your super mayor. I hope I was able to answer a ton of great questions for people that need the answers to things. But guess what? With my personal life, mind your business. Mind your business. But other than that, I love you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. And stay tuned because this is Tiff on the Move. This is news you couldn't use. And I just want people to give me the opportunity to be heard and listen. Listen, Linda, listen. That's all I want. If you just do that, I think you're going to be great. And it's next turn. And basically, I have a whole forecasted vision for you to see. And you know, I'm gonna produce that throughout Dalton, and I know the world's watching, so thank you so much. But I'm going to produce it that way you can mimic it in your city, near you. Okay? How about y'all stay on the air? I didn't know that.
You real important.
I see. I was like, you said keep going. I'm like, wait, what you do? I can go back on the street, man.
No, I know, but so we're gonna take a call or two, and then I'm gonna put you in 11:15. So before you leave, tell folks how to get involved and whatever you want to talk about. Because I think when Lena, she sees you, and that's not negative. But what she also sees is how collectively, ain't nothing really for us. You have to create it, but you also have to have support.
And that's what I tried to do. But if the board don't vote, that's again. So if I
But a
control
lot
the
of people
purse,
don't understand the civics.
I
Right?
know, and that's what I be telling them. They gotta listen. They go off with
Even with listening, you know, I even do this for my own people, right? Like, don't nobody from my ward go to the council meetings, right? So all you see is the B-roll afterward, such like they fighting against the mayor. No, that entanglement, that don't get nothing done. That's why this shit look like this, right? You know what I'm talking about? So that's what upsets me. So when people ask me, gonna go out again, you know, depends. I'm not trying to be our next pinata. We talk about that. But ultimately, damn, over time, it ain't just that one person don't control the outcome of where you live, right? It is a body of government. And even when people are listening, I don't think they understand. Right? So even with all your minus all of that, you're still a woman at the hem of this. And if you can't get a majority to go along with the route that you're trying to take them, then it skews chaos and instability. That's the equation. That's it. Right? So either y'all replace some people that's gonna show up and work, or y'all replace me and hope that works. That's my tagline right there.
So your stand in politics is one and done?
What you mean? No, it's not that, because I ran in 19 and 23. But what I've seen, because I pay attention to Mayor Johnson, Mayor Bass, there is a strategic attack on black mayors. It's not that, oh, well, I'm running for mayor. I'm not running for anything on that level, but any office you hold as a black person, if it comes a time for what they want out of it, it's your ass. Right? I don't care who you are. Red line extension, don't get down and you get in the way when you start talking about what you're going to protect. If it's not in the best interest of the party that's moving forward, yeah, you're going to have a fight on your hands, which is why folks got to be involved. But then when you start talking about, I ain't got time for this, or how many meetings I got to come to, we meet for life. This is a full life appointment. You work for me. But if you're not checking balance on what you're working on or for or against, you just leaving it up to me to be in control. Which is why I like Lena, right? Like, do you see us? You know, what about us? You know, categorically, she's not going against the grain of most formula, whether it's the seniors or the youth. Because the in-between, we are the working population, so we should be the feeder to the stability of the economics of the township. But sometimes we face hardships, illnesses, loss. You know, the working poor is impacted too. And Lena is saying, well, I need help. She hears that, but you got to be able to move the needle with a formula for the board to support.
So are you going to go back to help create a better future for your sons?
I haven't left. I still get involved in a number of races. I'm not involved in this race at all, but
you are now?
The school board race, right? The school board race, I was definitely a part of it because I worked in Chicago Public Schools, right? And I was at the board before I had children, right? So there are certain races where if I had the opportunity to serve, I will. And just guiding people to understand what that means, you know, beyond your role, how you checking and balancing. Don't just send me there and then expect me to do a good job. But, you know, the other part you were talking about, too, the people that came out the blue to shake you down, that's how you get in the orange jumpsuit. See, I can say that shit she can't say. You don't know who you're talking to. No, you gonna follow the process. You gonna apply to the portal? Right, I did. I did on my food. What? Right now, you're cool. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was gonna go there. You just a continuum.
You see what I check?
All right. We had the same trolls.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do that. I am gonna take this one. She's gonna play this intro again. Cleopatra Draper, the new host of the Midday Show. I'm homegrown, Chicago born and raised. A Kingwood Academy Bronco and a proud woman of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, a graduate of Eastern Illinois University, and I went onward to earn my master's in social work from UIC's Jane Addams College of Social Work. What brings me joy? Well, my 2 baby boys, husband, 2 doggies, my extended family, 2 doggies. Home cooked meal with love. My goal for the Midday Show is to bring you the highest energy, keep you engaged, laughing, and inspired. I want you to leave the show feeling like you learned something new and empowered to take on the world in that order. All right, everybody, let's roll. And we are back. The time is 11:09. You are listening to the Midday Show, and I am the host, Cleopatra Draper, live in the studio. She hanging tight, y'all. So for everybody that thinks she running, she only running to come knock your door near you. If you live in Dalton, 8-mile radius. I got the super mayor, Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Hayard, also known as the Mayor of Dalton. And we have been building up to a point where, you know, when folks are saying, where them hard questions at? It's nothing like facing the reality that you are seeking re-election.
I am.
And I think I've accepted from you that you are prepared to win or lose, but you're going to have to duke it out at the ballot box, right?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna win. Hands down, landslide.
Now, see, that confidence is some contagion, right? Now, if she falls short, then she's going to eat crow. You know, it's only one way to do this. Either you win or you lose. Ain't no in between. And I know you know that in your tenure in your career. And, you know, with the calls that we've taken thus far, I definitely see LaDonna Ray on the live line. So let's talk to LaDonna. Welcome to WVON.
Yes, good morning. And good morning, Cleopatra Draper. Congratulations, of course. Mayor Tiffany Hayard, I want to say that with respect. Okay? Mayor Tiffany Hayard. I'm in your township, and I see your passion. I see your passion for our community. It's undeniable. It could use a little bit of polishing. I think that people take it the wrong way, as you can see. But who has offered to assist you? Everyone's ready to crucify. So, like, who has offered to come out and help you? Like, I'm offering to come out and help you in any way you need. Because there's so much good that can come from you being the mayor and the superintendent versus not being in that seat. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to lend you whatever you need. And I think that everyone is waiting for the crucifixions of the questions and bring out the dirt. And it's so unfortunate because divided we fall and united we stand. We totally need someone with your passion. That can't be taught. With your heart, that can't be given.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. So that is true, right? Her energy is unmatched. You drank coffee today?
No.
So this is real.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee, so this is real. And it's a natural fit. Now, how do you synergize and channel that for those that care about Dalton, as opposed to throw away the baby with the bathwater, right? So you got some infighting going on, that's noted, but yet and still, you ain't backing down.
Correct.
Right? And at the end of the day, it's up to the people to say yay or nay. And when folks did say nay to the recall, what did you say then?
I thanked them. I went door to door. I spoke to everybody, and I appreciate them for allowing me to continue what they started. They elected me. There's no way I should have been in a recall. I just got in office, and every single judge told them that. But yet they went to every level, circuit court, appellate court, Supreme Court. Every one of them told them, no, we're not recalling Tiffany, and I did not get recalled. So I was able to keep my seat, because remember, we just got in office, not 2 weeks in. My board was already bought before I even got settled. I didn't know what a light switches was or what nothing was in Village Hall to start the infighting. It was ridiculous. So after that, then they removed me off a bank account, which was illegal unconstitutional. I had to fight that for about a year in court. They put Jason and Allison, they walked into a bank branch, put Jason on the bank account, and removed the mayor of the town off the bank. Whereas millions of dollars. That's why I said, people don't know half the story. They just know what the news feed them. But you need to go chase the facts. And in doing so, guess what? I went on account for a whole year. So again, you keep saying, tip me over this, tip me over that. That's not true. I don't deal with money. I don't move money. None of that's true. But this is the false information that's out there. And that leads me to this with Laura. She came and did a report. My board hired her and
And
want
what
to pay
she's
her
talking about, y'all, listen, she's talking about the former mayor of the city of Chicago, Lori Lightfoot.
that y'all fired, right? Y'all said get out of here, and y'all said y'all want Brandon Johnson, right? Okay, so why is she in my town? Why is she in Little Dalton? There's 23,000 residents fighting with me over whatever they think it is, right? The board hired her $400 an hour. That's what, $100 every 15 minutes to pay her and her staff, not just her and her staff, to come and do an investigation, right? If you got the feds there and all these people there, they trump everybody. So why are we paying money that y'all claim we don't have, number one, right? And then y'all bought her here for this political theater that you see going on, and then she give y'all a report. She give you a report with no substance, no information. She didn't itemize it. She didn't tell you what it is, but she wanted you to believe that I was the one spending or doing things. I give you a prime example. Amazon bill. Amazon bill, they said they spent $40,000, right? Mm-hmm. And they alluded to, it's the mayor. It's Tiffany. Tiffany don't
$40,000
in one day. I don't do shit with credit cards. Nothing with credit cards. Nothing with money at all. It just bothers me because it's just the lies they tell and I start getting attacked, right? Oh, for a lie. And like the lady said before, she's right. You get attacked and gotta fight the lie, and you start to tell them, I didn't do it. It's not me.
So what do you say to the trolls? Because, you know, I was gonna wait and see if you brought it up, but even down to your wardrobe, right? Mm-hmm. This is what kills me. Mm-hmm. So it was one picture where folks found an outfit that they found on Amazon and alluded that because of the 40,000 in one day, ridiculous. You went shopping.
Ridiculous.
And you saying that you didn't have access to the credit card.
I don't. It tells you. Like everybody got Amazon accounts, right? It tells you who bought the item, when they bought the item, what the item is. Why didn't she tell y'all that? But I'm going to tell you on this show today. On the show today, when I did my research, when I saw that fake report went out, that's why I don't trust nothing they say or people they bring in, because it's all geared to make one person look bad, to try to make them look good and cover up what they've been doing. And that's what I'm going to expose. On that one day, you know what they bought? Ice. For the rink. Ice. That's what it was. I made Janice and Mike Smith, when I was trying to appoint him as my assistant and my VA and all that, I had them go do the research for me and tell me what those items were. And they came back, and that's what it said, ice. And the ice is for the rink, where you put the little pieces down and we have ice so they can ice skate. That's what it was for. But yeah, they alluded to, I went shopping, I bought this, I did that. Not true. All fake.
So it was one purchase.
It was
and this ice skating rink, was it in the town?
It's for dogs. It's dogs. Okay. But they bought ice. That's what it was.
Yeah, I ain't read that nowhere, so y'all got that here.
Yeah. So I want to give you that little piece of information because I'm doing my report too. So when I put my facts out in my report of my own, because I'm going to get facts, they just give you a fake story just to make you look over here, but you should really be looking over here. It's just a distraction to make a person do something.
Jennifer, let's take your call real quick. Welcome to WVON.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy MLK Day. I was listening to Tiffany, but she said that people fight themselves. My question to Tiffany is, why would she fire a sexual assault victim that was sexually assaulted, allegedly, by one of her trustees in Dalton? He is yet working, but she fired the victim. My question to her is, why would she fire a victim and keep a predator underpaid?
Now, Jennifer, before I let you go, I do want to, for those that are listening, I want to magnify alleged because he has not been found guilty, correct? No, I know that, but when you said a sexual predator, you still putting him as though he is, and he has not been found guilty yet, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, because I want to be mindful as a mother of two black boys. When we talk about this black man and this black woman and the word allegation, until he's found guilty, I won't allow us to call him a sexual predator until I see the results of the finding of the jury of his peers. And I think that's only fair. So I thank you for your call, and she's going to respond, but I needed to contextualize that.
So you should ask her, why is her husband stalking me? Why I'm in court with her husband stalking me at Hooters? Come in the window, to the window, peeping Tom stuff. Like, this is what I'm dealing with. You got all them haters on there. That's all haters. I can tell you every last one of them. That's why I say, so when I talk,
what she's referring to is right? Let me break it down. Superman can see the names, right? And she's correlating some of the experiences. And I want you to answer because we talked about this real briefly before we go to break. Andrew Holmes was in play before you got there, correct?
He was already a trustee.
That's what I mean.
He came in with Riley Rogers as a trustee.
Riley Rogers was the mayor when you were installed as a trustee.
Mm-hmm.
So he was already there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the pressing question is clear. Why retain him and then you clip her? We could talk about that on the other side if you're able to. But at the end of the day, I want to contextualize. At times in America, we will pursue as though folks are guilty before they're proven innocent. And until that man is proven guilty, I want us to contextualize what allegedly means. And it's not to dismiss that young lady, I promise you. But it is to bring some equity to the space of what the seriousness of the nature is, and then how you are in the middle of it, per usual, Superman. So when we come back, she'll answer that. And then I gotta let her go, y'all. She gotta go to work. She gotta go knock some doors. And she gotta go try to earn support where she can, because she's not backing down. She said she ain't quit. I asked her a hard question. Y'all gonna have to fire her when we come back.
Yeah, you got all them haters on. That's what I said. We doing
So, yeah.
interviews, but it's all haters.
But
we
it's,
need some
let me
real stuff,
say
real
it like this. I think that's good for you.
The haters?
No.
I do not entertain them.
No,
At all. They are
let me
none-factor
finish.
in my
Let me
world.
finish what I'm saying. When I say I think that's good for you, I don't think that she's against, but she okay, even in her asking a valid question, you have to say, has he been found guilty?
I'm not entertaining none of that stuff. Yeah.
Right, I can't.
We talked about
Right,
all that
I
case.
can't, right?
He's even been charged.
He hasn't.
Yeah, so
So that's a whole nother thing, right?
He's not even charged.
So at the end of the day, that's the sensational journalism that everybody subscribes to, right? And at the end of the day, your decision as a leader to dismiss her for whatever probable cause you had, those are two different situations. They're not among them.
You need to be
Okay, darling, I'll be over there.
Good luck to you, Stay strong. You're doing a great job, great job. And the
Sharpen is ready to kill.
15 minutes.
15?
Yeah, but she has it queued
So
up.
we'll take it at 11:34.
Okay, I'll let her know, but it's already ready.
Thank you. Sorry about this. Well, I say it's good because, again, I think you continue to answer. Because that's the hardest question. That's one of the hardest questions people have, right? Besides the Amazon, the this, the that, that's all y'all got. Now let's talk about the budget, the this, the that. I think you do a great job of answer and pivot in terms of what's the facts and what's this. The fact that he hasn't been charged, clearly it's been a long morning, but yet it's still, as a mother of two black boys, unless he's found guilty, let's keep that contextualized. It's not to say nothing didn't happen, I'm not saying any of that, but whatever it is, that's what you have a court of appeals for, right? So I think you're doing a great job. Even with that, yes, it should rattle your cage, that you have to subscribe to that, right? But eventually, the noise will clear. I promise you. Because if you keep doing the work,
That's it. I just want people to judge by my word. I don't all the hearsay or this person said this or this. Judge me on my work. Did I take care of the streets? Did I do the alleys? Did I do the sidewalks? Did I cut the trees? Did I fix the light poles? My work. Talk about that. Nobody talks about that. Think about it. Everybody talking about gossip. Nobody called me in to say anything about anything going on in Dalton as relates to what I'm supposed to do as a mayor.
you're wrong.
Because I said drama, that's why I don't entertain it.
We're going to come back to that. Because I did see, 400,000 in tree services. You know what I said? I said, damn, she at least getting them trees cut. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
know, you people complain about the roots from the tree messing their plumbing up.
Yeah.
That's what people want. We have our trees pruned over 30 years. So why it took for me to come in office to prune the trees? We had one street repaved until I got in office. We have one alley paved until I got in
We're
office.
going to come back to that because that's what keeps you in office.
It is.
Providing constituent services.
That's what I say. But everybody else own the drama. That's why I
you're listening to the midday show, and I'm wrapping up with the Superman. And she ain't bragging, but you know, she does have a resume, and that resume is delivering constituent services. That's undeniable, right? So the show between the show is based off facts, right? So I'm reading one of the deficits may be for surfaces, but when you haven't had trees pruned in 30 years, I mean, either you're going to do it or you're going to be out. So one thing we know about any elected office, are you performing the roles and responsibilities of that office to sustain your seat? And the biggest thing in your domain and in your world is constituent services, right? So, you know, as we're calling in and, you know, we're talking about some of the issues, I want us to understand a big cloud that hovers over the supermayor's head is the reign of gossip. It's some hot tea, but just because it came out the air don't mean it is water. It might be pissing, you ain't even know it, you know, and you just basking in it because they told you it was rain. And that's what I think in translation she's saying, like, it's not even where you're getting it, is it rooted? So even the previous calls, we're talking about the battles and the ups and downs of Andrew Holmes. He is yet to even be charged, right? So it's, again, it's not to negate the possibilities of what transpired. I'm not here to speak to that. As a woman, I acknowledge that whatever it is, let him be judged by a jury of his peers and let that young lady be made whole, right? And whatever that looks like, how does it involve the supermayor? And the bottom line is, she led the trip to a economic business development conference that her entire body went to because the opportunities are endless that you could bring back resources to Dalton. So I think sometimes when I'm contextualizing what transpired and what's the big picture, it does drill down to a few things. Tiffany, you tell me if you agree. Personally, do you like me? Politically, do you respect me? And then from a campaign standpoint, do you support me? And some of them boxes are going to be skewed, right? You may like how I get things done, but you may not like how I do it. You may like what I'm doing, but you may not like what I say. And we see that from the top of the ticket, whether it was Kamala running, to our governor, to the mayor of the city of Chicago, and then we see the super mayor. And a lot of people may not like your way of doing things. So when I did ask, you know, if you fell short of the glory, how are you showing up different? What is your answer?
So my answer is basically being more, I want to say more accessible, because I am more, they can, how can I say it? They got more access to me than ever. Like, I want people to come more to conversation with the mayor, things of that nature, to talk about whatever their issues are, instead of allowing the media to tell them what our issues are in our town. I'm at your door, I'm on your phone, I'm on your radio waves, so you can always hear my point of view. But if you guys don't meet me in the middle, we'll never be able to unify. And that's my goal for my community. I want to heal my community. I want to apologize to my community for all the negativity that's going on, all the hurt behind the drama, which was brought by my board to my city, because I would never put a black eye on Dalton. I love Dalton 2 months ago. Everybody stays there that I love and care about. So why would I make it bad for them, or let alone my residents? So I just want people to understand that part from me. I'm hurt by all the people attacking me. It's a lot.
But what I took away from that is that you apologize to the city of Dalton. So for those that can hear, right, and feel, at the end of the day, you're going to make your decisions. And this is not to be pro or for or against you. It's to give you a platform to be heard, because some of the details, this tea you was spilling, we ain't going to read it nowhere. And you got it authentically from the Superman, right? So for all the calls that are coming in, we definitely appreciate it. I want to acknowledge your time.
Thank you.
And I want to welcome you to talk about your reelection. What does that look like for you? And then where do you take Dalton from here?
It's actually looking great. My numbers are up. That's why they continuing with the smear campaign, unfortunately. We door knock, talk to people every single day. I still have a lot of love and support in Dalton. And that's what people don't show. I think people should interview those that do love Superman and not just all the hate that they spill on the internet and on the news. Pretty much the election is February 25th. That's the primary. And then early voting is February 10th through the 24th. And it's at South Suburban College and also Cabal City Library. I am #1 on the board. Thank you. On the ballot, I'm #1. So you punch 1 for Super Mayor Tiffany Hilliard. I'm running Tanika Hughes for clerk. She's punch 4. And then my ticket is Jocelyn King, Vanessa West Coast, and Linda Terrell. They're at the bottom of the ballot for trustee. And I believe their numbers are 9, 10, 11, but they're at the very end.
Oh, so you done picked up the women.
Yeah, I got all women's slate, all women's tickets.
So listen, so we're gonna have you back because as it thickens, I'm sure the plot will thicken.
Yeah.
But I see that you are uplifting women.
Yes.
And that's what we're gonna carry this conversation to, because as a black woman being ousted from the boys club, I think you done created your own girls club.
I have to, because we got to pass the baton. It's too many times that people keep us on mute and we can be on their side, but we can't, well behind them, but we can't be on the side. We can't lead with them.
Tell me how to keep up with you.
So you can follow me on Tiffany Hilliard, with Facebook, and also you can call us, but I don't get my number out.
There it is, there it is. Well, you got it, guys. You gonna come back to WVON?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, excellent, excellent. So you heard it here. You got to have an exclusive with the Super Mayor. Stay with us. We'll be back after this break. That was dope. Let's get this pitch.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was dope.
Hey guys, thank you for watching. I hope it was full of great information. I just want you to know that I will be on the street. You can call me, you can inbox me, and you can dial my Facebook number. Let's say that. Till next tune, make sure you punch 1 for Super Mayor Tiffany Hilliard. I am on the ballot. February 25th is our election in Dalton. February 10th through the 24th is early voting. Cabal City Library, South Suburban College. You can vote either way. And then you can also do a mail-in ballot if you choose to. My ticket is Tanika Hughes for clerk, Vanessa West Coast, Linda Terrell, and also Jocelyn King for trustee. That is my slate. Yes, it's a whole women's ticket. So thank you so much. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Stay tuned till next time. Do not love you, and there's nothing you will ever do to change that. So I'm going to keep fighting and fighting and fighting because I do love Dalton. Thank you.